Hey YouTube, what's up? Scarecrow here, and I'm here today to cover a Shadowed Paladin deck profile from a tournament I played recently. It was a bigger than normal tournament, not like a huge thing, but it was a tournament for 3 boxes. And I went 5-1. No, it was 4-1. It was only 5 rounds. I went 4-1. I lost once in Swiss to my opponent. Just sacked the crap out of me. The first game, they drove check their fourth perfect guard, and which kept them from being killed by my Phantom Blaster. But then they had to take the rear guard hits, and they healed at 6. If they hadn't had that PG, they wouldn't have been able to block the Phantom Blaster, so they would have had to take the crit and would have died even if they had gotten the heal. But they wouldn't have even gotten the heal because the draw trigger, which was their fourth one, put the one card closer to it. And then in the third game, I had it like pretty much set. They had like no field. I had like a PG, a couple grade 1s in my hand. They weren't in great shape like at all. They drew Road, Soul Savior, and then called Marin, and off the Marin effect, when they got to do their draw, they drew a Pongal, which gave them their 5th soul. Yeah, I got sacked, but whatever. Yeah. So this is the deck. It's a little bit different since the last time you've seen it. Figured I would show it to you. So getting started. We have our starter, same as every deck. Then played 7 crits, 1 regular draw, 4 PG draw, 4 heal. I'll have to say, anyone who knows me knows 7-5 is a pretty common ratio for me. I like it. Grade 1s. For Karen, because countercharging is really good. I counterblast every deck. For Javelin, because drawing cards is good. For Nemain, and then 2 Fear Sword Dragon. This is the really biggest change and the most important one. So this card on its own is like not that great. It can retire itself and give 2 cards plus 3, but the fact that you can call them off Nemain is what makes them a cool card. So like, let's say on like your second or first turn you get Nemain. Let's say during the course of the game you're not going to draw all your other Nemain targets. That one Nemain you had, it's slow, only happening 1 turn at a time. But that gives you, so you played this one, it plussed you into Nemain, +1, +2, +3, +4, +5. Like, if you draw in a main quick enough and don't draw the other targets, like that single main accumulates a +5. It's pretty crazy. It's slow over the course of the game, but 1 card accumulating you 5 cards over the course of the game, that's crazy. Like sometimes, like games where like I've drawn her early, like I've had so much just like free cards that like I didn't even mind using this guy's skill to buff my field because I had so much card advantage. I might as well just like win more by like buffing up my field and hitting harder. It's really good. Plus by playing like 2 of them, like if I like sometimes you're like you would like draw or damage in a main, you're like, oh, that sucks. But by having more targets, it's not nearly as detrimental to draw or damage them anymore because you still have other cards you can go into. It's really good. So, moving on to the grade 2s. One thing that will probably surprise people about this build is I'm only playing 3 Blaster Dark. So, like, this card is like a pretty okay card, but like it's also not like super fantastic. The only thing about this card I really like is when I can ride him as a Vanguard. The counterblast 1 to kill rearguard past your grade 2 turn isn't that good. Like counterblasting one for +1 is fine, I guess, but like your opponent's also choosing, and like the counterblast for in this deck, almost all the other effects in this deck that counterblast are more value than like the counterblast that this card uses. And to the point where like anyone who plays this deck knows that like later into the game, like you're not even gonna want to use his skill typically. He's gonna kind of be like a vanilla. So I'm only playing like the 3 of them just in case I do draw it to ride it. I don't want to play 4. I feel like that's a waste. Especially when we have Formaka, who also works on Vanguard. So like between the 2 of these, I have 7 Vanguard turn 2 ride targets that can actually do something. So I'm not really worried about not having a good turn 2 ride. That weird noise you just heard is my daughter. Yeah. I still have like good Vanguard ride targets. I'm just trying to reduce like past that point, like redundant like rear guards, like Blaster Dark. And that gave me room to play 4 Cathbad here, which anyone who's played with or against the stick knows how like monstrous this guy is. He's just huge all the time for like no reason. And then for our grade 3s, we obviously have our 4 Phantom Blaster. Then we played 3 Cathbad, just because he's a +1 as long as you have Soul, which usually you do. So it's a good card, really good. Not even that bad if you have to ride it. It still gives you a gift, and you can still just get pluses off of it, and like just be on until you draw something else. And then 1 Dark Dictator, just for another decent Vanguard ride target. And yeah, that is it for this deck profile. I've actually played this deck twice now since I played it in that box tournament, or 3 box tournament, where I went 4-1 with it, and then I played it again in the tournament, another tournament after, which I won. So it's a really good deck. Yeah, thank you for watching.